Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about setting up a VM and how do you set up a VM and install an OS on a VM. So setting up a virtual machine is what we're going to be talking about today. However, before we start that process, we're going to have to define what a virtual machine is, and I think most people get the definitions wrong most time. And so a virtual machine, so the word virtual itself, like it's a virtualization and emulation of a computer system. So a virtual machine allows your computer to act like a host to another computer. So a virtual machine, is it's a compute, resources that uses software. So instead of you to get a new hardware, like a new CPU and monitor, your virtual machine lets you run a whole new computer on your computer. And there's a lot of reasons why people actually do this. People do this just sometimes they want to like test. If you download the software, you want to test it on a virtual box before you take it on your own personal host machine in case there's any virus or there's anything, there's any thing you want to. Or sometimes there's a new Linux distribution and you want to test and see the features of this distribution. You can test it on this virtual machine that you create on your computer. So virtual machines are very easy to manage and maintain, and they're like very better over like having a physical machine. So you can run 20, 50, 100 virtual machines on your computer, but imagine the cost of you having to buy 20, 50 new CPU, new monitor, new keyboard, new mouse. So that's the benefit of having a virtual machine installed on a computer. So the second thing we'll do today is we'll download VirtualBox, and this is the actual host itself. This is the I'll say a piece of software that lets you install other operating system on your computer. And this is the OS, which is the operating system that we would actually be running on our VirtualBox. And if time permits us, we would also try and install another OS. Ubuntu is a distribution of Linux also too. They are both Linux distributions, Kali and Ubuntu. And when we're done with that, we install, configure the VirtualBox, allocate memory and resources so that we can function and process information, and then we launch the VirtualBox and we load Kalios on our machine. The first thing to do is to download VirtualBox. So I will copy this link. I will post this link in the comment if you don't have this link, and you can also go into Google and search download VirtualBox and paste the link, and I do enter, and now I have I'm on the web page for the VirtualBox. So you can click on whatever machine that you have. If you have a Mac OS, you can go ahead and click on Mac OS and you download the Mac version. So I have a Windows OS, so I'm gonna click on Windows OS, and this is gonna download the VirtualBox onto my machine. So let's say I've clicked that button because I already have VirtualBox on my machine, and I do not want to replicate executable file of VirtualBox on my machine. So click on Windows OS to download VirtualBox, and then we have to go download Kali OS. So we download Kali OS and we unzip when we download it. So you download Kali OS, and now if you click on the link, it opens the Kali OS for you, and you can go here and click on this download button right here, and it downloads a zip file of Kali onto your computer. I already have this file on my computer. I would not be downloading it again. So therefore, go ahead and download this. So now the third thing that we have to download is called a virtual extension pack. So this link is the same link as the link to download VirtualBox, and I already have the link open here. So I just have to scroll down and click on where it says all supported platforms. So you click on all supported platforms, it downloads the extension pack onto your computer right there. So now we have three things downloaded. we have VirtualBox downloaded, we have our OS operating system Kali downloaded, and we have the VirtualBox extension pack downloaded. So now we can start by installing VirtualBox. So I already have VirtualBox installed on my computer and downloaded on my computer. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and install this new version of VirtualBox on my computer by double clicking, and then it asks for permission. That we say right, and now next, it's asking me where does he want to install it on. Next, then I proceed with it. I'll do yes and install. So I think this is gonna update my VirtualBox because I already had a VirtualBox on my computer, and if you guys see right here, I have it running right here. But this is a new update, and it's gonna update my older version of VirtualBox. So why this is running? Oh, let me wait a second. I think this is almost done. Yeah. Maybe because I have this open, let me close this, and let's see if it goes faster. So after you download the Oracle VM VirtualBox, I have the 7.06 version. I already have it downloaded now. So if I click on finish, it's gonna start the VirtualBox for me because I already have this box checked. So I'm gonna leave it check. I'm gonna do finish. So I have to restart my computer. This is looking so it's going to listen. What do you want to start now? No, I would not be restarting my computer. So I have to install the VirtualBox extension pack. I have two versions, the same file. So I just click on one of them, and as soon as you download that, you can already have it installed. So it wants to reinstall my machine. I'll let it reinstall. That way you guys can see the process of installation on the right hand side. Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack. This is 100%. Installing package. I'll wait a few. We have it installed on our computer. To install Kali Linux, remember we downloaded this, we installed, we downloaded this, and we installed. Kali OS is downloaded as a zip file, so we have to unzip, not install. So to unzip this file, I have it on my document folder. So you will locate your folder where you have your file. I do have mine somewhere around here. Yeah, I do have mine right here, Kali Linux. So I already have a WinZip installed on my computer, and what WinZip does, it helps you unzip files. So if you want the link to download, I just do this, I do Google, and I just do download WinZip. There's a couple of software available for free, and you download this, you download it right there. You can do WinZip, you can do 7-zip, you can do WinRAR, but I currently have WinRAR on my machine right now. So with WinRAR, you right click right here and you can do show more options, and you can do open. So when you open, I think my battery is low. You can open. So when you open, you can go ahead and extract this. Okay, so do you want to open this file? Yes, open. And I just cancel this because I don't have to download the paid version. So click on Kali, click on this and do extract, and you can extract the file in the same folder that it was. So if I do OK, I already have the same file. Unless I want to replicate it, I can do yes to all, replicate my new to a new version of Kali that I have already in there. So I will wait for this to download. Yeah, and we have it 100%. I'll close this, and now we have the folder right here. And now we already installed our VirtualBox and the VirtualBox extension pack. Without downloading and installing the extension pack, you would not be able to do this. So now that I have extension pack running on my computer, on my machine, I have to double click on this, and I have three files here. I have the VMD file and the VBox previous file and the VDI. So I will say go ahead and click on the VMD file. Double click on this file to automatically load your Kali OS onto your virtual machine. And this feature is available after you've installed the extension pack. So I double click on it, and it takes me straight to my VirtualBox manager, and I have my Kali right here ready to run with the minimal resources needed to run. So now if I click on start, my Kali should power up and start running, and in a minute it should install automatically itself and ask for the username and password. If you scroll down here a little bit, I have my Kali running now. You can see my username and password under the description tab saying Kali and Kali. So that is the username, the default username and password for Kali operating system. So our system is currently loading. Yeah, we have Kali running now. She's asking for the username and password. So for our username, it's Kali. For password is Kali. And I do login, and it should open. Here we go. So now we have our OS installed and running perfectly on our machine. So right now on my computer, I have a Windows OS running, and in my VirtualBox I have a Linux operating system running. So with this Linux, let's try and open our terminal and try some actions, like asking the computer, who am I? Oh, I'm Kali. Okay, that is good. So now I want to take root access and be admin, and sudo su is the Linux command for this action. So he asked me what's the password for sudo, which is Kali. So my password is also Kali. I do enter, and now you see it has changed from Kali to root Kali. So now I am root. So when I ask it, who am I am root. So now we could try these basic functions and see it's all working. I could also see, let me list my directories. So I have desktop, document, downloads, music, pictures, public, template, and videos. So now I can create new folder. I can traverse into this folder. So let's say I want to go into my document. I can go into my document by saying cd documents, and it should take me to documents. So now if I do ls, it's going to list the document. I don't have no document yet, but I can also create files and say create this new file, touch ck.tst. Yeah, and now if I do ls, we should have a file called ck.tst. And also I can also remove this file. I can go back to the directory. So right now you see right here, I'm currently in the document folder. I want to go back to home. I can do cd and go back one step. I go back to Kali, cd one step, and I go back to home. And if I do ls, it should list I have Kali as home. So I have to go into Kali, then go into document to access ck.tst. And that is one way to install an operating system on your Kali machine. So now that we are done, we can log out of this, shut down our Kali. So now we still have time. We can proceed to install our second OS, which is going to be Ubuntu that I talked about earlier. So for Ubuntu to start running, we have to download Ubuntu, and we can try installing Ubuntu by there's two ways to launch an OS on your virtual machine. So if you click on Ubuntu desktop image right here, it's going to bring the download button right here for the version, which is version 22.04. If you want the 23.04, you can go ahead and download this one. So I already have a version of Ubuntu installed on my computer. The download 22.04, so I'm not going to be downloading. But if you guys want to proceed to learn about the other way to install an operating system on your VirtualBox, you would need to download this Ubuntu. So we can proceed. After you download Ubuntu, you open your VirtualBox. So now on this left hand side, we have only Kali running. So for us to start a new operating system on this machine, I'm going to do new. I'm going to name my computer Seakay Ubuntu, and it's gonna ask me to select my image from the beginning. I can go ahead and select my image now and put in my Ubuntu. If you see, it already found my Ubuntu file. I have it under downloads, but I don't want to go it this way. You can put it from the beginning, find your folder, and whatever you downloaded the Ubuntu right here. If you download it right here, wherever this is saved, you can locate that folder in here. But I'll leave that empty for some people that don't have access or idea of how to traverse and find where it's been downloaded to. So I have a type of OS that I want. It's Linux. What version? Ubuntu. I have a 64-bit computer, and that is why it is default to 64-bit. So I do next, and now it's asking me for base memory. I can move it to 4 gig. I want 4 gig. How many processors did I want to give it? My computer is a 8 CPU. I can give this operating system 2 CPU. That way it can perform very well. I can do next. So it wants me to create a virtual disk. I'm giving it 25 gig of data, 50 gig of data. That way there's more space to store stuff, and you can utilize it for resources. So I do next also too, and now it tells me I have a disk size of 50 gig. I have 4 gig base memory, and now if I click on finish, I have my Ubuntu right here on the left hand side. But you guys remember, we have not uploaded the file, the actual OS version of Ubuntu that we downloaded. So we can do that by going to settings and going to your storage and doing finding the file. But I don't want to go back and forth that way. I want the computer to prompt us to add this file, and that way I can add it. So I'll do start, and if it does not automatically find that folder of where I downloaded my Ubuntu, we would go ahead and so on my screen here, it's asking me to find that file because it has failed to boot my Ubuntu. So imagine you having a computer with no operating system on it, it would not boot. It's going to say no bootable medium file, and that is what my computer is telling right now. So for us to do that, I will have to find it by clicking on others. So I have mine in my download section. Find yours, and wherever it is, click on it and click on open. It should be an IXO file .iso, and do open. And if I do open, I can mount and try to reboot my machine again. And this time around, let's see what happens. So now I have Ubuntu starting to load up. So now do I want to install Ubuntu? Yes, I can click on enter. Oh, I have my Ubuntu right here. I don't know why it's keep closing. So I have Ubuntu right here loading. So now Ubuntu is launching and starting up. You can see how easy this works. That is how to install operating systems on your VirtualBox. And these are all called virtual machines because you don't really have a physical computer, physical hardware running Ubuntu. It's virtually running on your computer, on your system, which is your Windows. So now this is gonna install Ubuntu. You can go ahead and install your Ubuntu. You can try it out, and you don't have to outrightly install it on your computer if you just want to try it out. So click on continue and click on continue. Let's do minimal installation. If you want to proceed and do normal installation, please do. You can do minimal installation also too. So continue. So when you're done installing Ubuntu, it's gonna bring the desktop menu, which is the view, and you can start using Ubuntu. So it's asking me if I want to erase my disk and install Ubuntu freshly. So I can do install now. So this is the ways that you can install Ubuntu. So guys, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. I'll be actively looking for questions and answer questions. And if you think that there's any step that I missed or I can make this better, also put it in the comment section also too. So now you see my Ubuntu is already getting started, and now it's asking me what's my name, Seakay. So automatically it's naming my VirtualBox, Seakay VirtualBox. Choosing a password that I need to log in. I'm gonna do Ubuntu. That's my password. I mean, you're free to use whatever password that you want to use, and do continue, and you can start the installation, and in few minutes it should be done, and you can start using Ubuntu however you want and how you intend to use Ubuntu. I hope you guys find this training very helpful. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to click the subscribe button. Thank you so much.